Morning, good evening, good afternoon, good middle of the night, wherever you are. Thank you and welcome. My name is Seamus Ford, and if we don't know one another, I'm a Landmark staff member, and I, along with many people, including all of you, am accountable for the pivot to bring Landmark's programs online. And you're in attendance at the global workday that we've created for February 2022 to update you on a range of things, and also really to create a space of acknowledgement. We've been at this for nearly 2 years now, and it's time to just stop and really acknowledge what's been accomplished, acknowledge you. So we're really committed that, out of today, that you're really left uplifted, empowered, and inspired by what comes next. And I'm going to just take a moment and allow two other people to introduce themselves who are going to be leading different parts of the weekend. Alex, you want to go ahead?
Hi, everyone. I think most of you know me. My name is Alex Jackal, and I am excited to be here with us and to move into the next phase of creating the transformation of the planet.
Great. And then we also have Stesha. Stesha, can you come off mute and say hello?
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Stesha. I'm the Senior Weekend Production Manager, accountable for all of our weekend teams worldwide. It's good to be with you all.
And then we'll just introduce one other person who a lot of you may know, Belle Billick. You want to say hello?
Hey everyone, my name is Belle. I'm the Senior Weekly Production Manager, so Stesha's counterpart over here with the seminars, master classes, and self-expression leadership programs.
Great. And you guys, there are a lot of people that we can introduce that are on staff and have various accountabilities. A lot of that will feed its way in as we go along today, but we have a pretty short time frame and we have a lot to accomplish. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to give everybody an opportunity to create who they are. And so if you go ahead and open up the chat in the meeting is open, and you can create for all of us who you are. And we're just going to ask you to say where you are in the world, how you participate online, how long you've participated, and really what has you be here in this meeting. And we'll let people go ahead and do that. And you can just watch in the chat as people begin to create who they are, and I'll give you a moment to go ahead and do that.
And while we start that, we're going to kick that off with an introduction, a little welcome from one of the leaders in our work.
Hi, I'm Kathy Elliott, and I am the executive for the Program Delivery Division, which means I'm accountable for what we deliver. And I know that you're all meeting together, and I just really wanted to be able to express my profound gratitude and appreciation for everything that you've provided. From the moment that we suddenly went online and the whole world turned upside down, including our world, and you stepped in and you didn't know what that was going to take. You didn't know maybe even how to do it, but you found your feet and you just were there to contribute. And you moved us successfully from the in-person into the online environment. And, without you, we could not have done that. And we could not have continued to be able to develop and expand and provide more and more programs of a higher and higher quality without your partnership. So while we maybe haven't met in person, I want you to know I know who you are. And I know who you are because of your contribution and who you have been and are for this enterprise, for this work being available, and for the profound difference that it makes in the world for people, for families, and just generally to humanity. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
One of the things that's really important about today is, a lot of what we do, a lot of what we have produced, the moment it got created and existed, in the next moment, it really was taken for granted that's the way that it is. And one of the things that, is just really important for us is for you guys to know that we do not labor in darkness. What we do, what we create is known. And I'm going to ask that, there's a lot of messages that are going to come to you from various people around the enterprise, that you really be here prepared to let it in. Just to let it in and be in the presence of it, because the acknowledgement is of you. And, if you look in the chat right now, you can just see a universe of people that are on our team, from, the United States to Nairobi, Kenya, to the United Kingdom, to India, to Mexico. We have people that have participated for years, people that have participated for a very short amount of time. And by the way, no matter how long you've participated with us, you are welcome. And I'd like you to take the case, if you happen to be somebody who's relatively new to participating in Landmark's programs, you're not here by accident.
Yeah.
Something inspired you, something caused you to be here. And, if you're somebody like many of us who's been doing this for quite a while, and you continue to do it for quite a while, also, you are not here by accident. There is a commitment. There really is a deep background commitment that we all share. And we might articulate it a variety of ways, but, there is why we're here. And one of our intentions is that you really get present to that today. Oh my gosh.
And I want to just welcome Pravin, who's here who's only been participating in Landmark for 4 months, right? So welcome. You're in a very exciting group of people to be with.
But
Can you hear me? Am I
Turkey,
clear?
go ahead.
Am I clear? My voice is clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Very good. Thank you for making sure of that. But, just look at the chat. Turkey's in the house. Las Vegas, Washington, D.C., Portland, Oregon, India, Trinidad and Tobago. We got people from islands in the middle of the ocean participating in this conversation. Detroit, the city that hustles harder than any other in the world.
Spain,
Philadelphia.
And I really love, like, Bill Benz, from Atlanta, is serving humanity for 13 years. Peace, love, and harmony, right? It's like awesome.
But it is truly a global community on this call.
One thing that just struck me, Seamus, and all of you, is Tom just wrote, from Washington, D.C., been assisting online for as long as we have been offering online programs. It's such an accomplishment that people can now speak about that, like, oh yeah, I go way back from as long as we've been offering online programs, right?
Costa Rica, Bucharest, Romania, Tel Aviv, Israel, Amsterdam, Miami, Florida, Aguascalientes, Mexico. So, one of the things you want to know is that before the pandemic, the odds of us being able to, the likelihood of you participating in a meeting like this with fellow graduates, basically it didn't exist. It was hardly conceived of, but the infrastructure didn't exist. The ability to collaborate and work together didn't exist. And I want to just create for you guys a bit about what's been accomplished in the nearly last 2 years. And one of the things that's important to know is that when the pandemic started, we really had no idea the impact that it would have. Some of us had an idea and we knew that we had to act, but we really had no idea. Our offices around the world were closed for nearly a year. In many cases, many of them still aren't open physically. And we weren't able to offer the Landmark Forum for an entire year. Nothing even close to that has happened in the 50-year history of our enterprise. And really, for most of us, nothing like that's happened in our lifetimes. But there's a group of graduates, including many of the people on this call, that were simply unwilling to do nothing. And, beyond that, they were determined that the pandemic was actually a historic opportunity for the work of transformation. And, it was clear that we had to find a way to get Landmark's programs online, but also to demonstrate to the enterprise, which wasn't yet dealing with this issue, to demonstrate to the enterprise that transformation was possible through this medium. And so an enormous amount of work and effort went into creating an environment in which we could start to do our programs online. And the people on this call were thinking in ways about the future and how to make our work available that other people weren't across the enterprise. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that is what really brings us together, is that we are people that are about the future of the work of transformation. And, the other thing to note about it is that all of this was done in the midst of a lockdown. Our friends and partners in India and cities in India, for a good portion of us bringing ourselves online, couldn't leave their houses. They couldn't travel more than a kilometer from their house. We had to find equipment to get to forum leaders. And there was even in Mumbai, there was even a relay using the kilometer range to get something from the center all the way to Mahesh Nambiar's house to be able to deliver a program. Just incredible commitment and tenacity, and a willingness to do whatever it takes. I say that in the present tense, definitely, whatever it takes to really make sure our work is available. And, the analogy you've probably all heard before is, building a plane while we're flying it. We really did have to build a plane, fly it, and then continue to redesign and build it without ever landing. We have not landed that damn plane. And that plane's not going to get landed. And, it's that commitment that found a way to make the unique impact of our work available online. And this required rethinking about how we do nearly everything. New programs and courses that were created exclusively for the online environment, webinars, master classes that are offered, nationally or regionally. A training program run largely by the OPM community that's trained over 4,000 people in how to produce programs online in 15 languages, by the way. And, really an unprecedented infrastructure that allows us to manage our courses and programs and coordinate as teams across the globe without the convenience of a physical center. Really, not even without the convenience of a physical location of any kind. And all of this was envisioned, designed, and realized by the graduate community rising to the challenge of this prolonged hour that we're in. And of course, all of that while continuing to adapt to the constant changes in technology, particularly Zoom, that unilaterally decides to grant features, take away features that, have made things very chaotic for people at times. And by the way, the innovation continues, and I'm just going to give you a heads up where you are going to get an invitation to stick around at the end of our meeting today to help with some testing of new features that we're working on. So that's just a heads up. You'll get that invitation at the end of the night. But really, we've truly connected what has always been a global community. But now we have real partnerships and lifelong friendships that are knitting us together in a new way. And it's requiring us to continue to think in a new way. So that's the thing that I think many people may take for granted. Somebody coming out of the forum is just like, oh, of course, I'm going to do my seminar. I'm going to, I'm going to do the advanced course. I'm going to do all these programs. And they don't even think twice about what it took to make that possible. And that's the accomplishment that I want to presence. But, more important than all that, Michael, if you could go ahead and there's a number. And it's not just a number. Every single one of these 32,955 digits represents a human life. These are the people that have participated in the forum online. And they are real people with real lives, real relationships, real families, real careers, real concerns, just like you have. And they're having new conversations and creating new possibilities, untethered from the constraints of their own past. And for some of you that have been around a while, this number might seem small. But remember, in the first S training, there were only 32 people, and we're just beginning. So I'd say that we have a pretty good head start. So we can give a couple people a chance at this point to share anything you'd like to share about what you're present to. And you just go ahead and raise your hand, your digital hand, that is. All right, great. Hey, Patricia, why don't you go ahead first?
Thank you, Shanice. Can you hear me well?
Very well.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Excellent. Well, first of all, I just blown away, I was like, oh my gosh, I called like 8 o'clock in the morning. You got to be kidding me. And seeing all these people, seeing all of you is like, I don't even have a words to say how grateful I am for what we had to, cause together. And like I say on the chat, I'm the worst person on technology, right? It's just like, no, you don't want to put an iPhone or nothing like that in front of me. And thanks to you guys and the Llama Forum leaders that they create those calls in the beginning of the pandemic, to just go and empower all the graduates and what we were dealing with. I get on almost every call just to empower myself. But I love the fact that I start touching the computer and raising my hand and doing whatever everybody was doing. And at some point, my center manager said, well, you're going to lead in July, and it's going to be on Zoom. Literally, it was nothing there for me. I'm like, okay. I didn't know what I was getting into at all. And I never experienced any problem, any issue. I had the best team on the world. Jaime Ocampo, Esther, I forgot your name, your last name. Esther, everybody knows Esther. She's everywhere. And Rosalba, I don't know Rosalba is here, but I mean, everybody's working together for the same reason. Doc, anyone that I call when I have a question about it, I think Alex, I send you an email. I don't know, but I'm like, in Shames, you're always there, I know we alone ride together. And I'm just grateful, because now my dream come true to bring this word to every single one in the world,
And that's it right there, Patricia. It's right, that's it right there. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Let's try to just keep it to a couple sentences so we can allow a lot of people to share. Ruthie Lockman. Ruthie?
Just a moment, I am busy.
Okay.
Did you call my name?
I did.
It was a little bit surprise. So I am very excited for this opportunity to be with all of you today. I just yesterday declared to one of the landmark staff that I'm so in love with the online things that I don't want to go back. And it is tomorrow, I am actually together with another person here that I saw, Jeff, in the Sunday Landmark Forum. And it is excitement also about that for me, because even I am in Atlanta, I am not a native of Atlanta. I am a native of Israel, but I have dual citizen. And I love the online program. I'm in love with that. And I have fear to go back because I am family division supervised director. I don't want to go to courses. And that's where I am, and nothing wrong.
Great. Great. All right, let's see. Let's travel around the world. Oh, South Africa, Tish.
Hello, everybody. I'm so very present to the world is small. We have proven that the world has no borders anymore. There aren't any borders. We can assist with thousands of people in any time zone, and we have the same conversations in different languages, no less. But it's the same conversation. The transformation is happening around the globe in every time zone in different languages, and the conversation is the same. It's just completely mind-blowing. Thank you to all of you for making that possible.
Thank you for your
Awesome.
leadership, Tish. Thank you. All right, we have time for one more person. I think we may call an audible a couple times just to allow more connection here, but let's go. Oh, John Headley.
Hello, everyone. I mean, so I was one of a handful of people that started this when everything locked down. And for me, it was a group of people that just said no, even though COVID had the world paused and our work paused, to say, this shall not be. We will actually create something out of nothing. And I'm just moved to tears by the people that are on this call, the 200 people that are up early or late, or probably at 3 in the morning and just being ridiculously unreasonable. And the team that created that, right? It's a pride thing, but it's really the beauty of having graduates be graduates in the world and taking down the boundaries of having to even go to the centers, anything like that, to actually have our work gives me the first time where I actually, like, as an instruction leader, I know I'm full stand for the enterprise, but I really actually see that future being fulfilled. And I just want to say one word about everybody that's on this call. We are all being someone who makes things happen that were going to happen anyway, going beyond what we currently see as possible for ourselves, for our lives, and for the world. And again, many of you I would have never met. I've been in a seminar now with people in Iran. Language is no barrier, location is no barrier, and together we are making the world work. So thank you all for joining me in that partnership, and I love you all.
Hear, hear, and we love you right back. Well, you know, John presents something that we just want to make sure everybody knows about. And again, this is an expression of all the work that people on this call have done. But, you know, in that year that the forum wasn't being offered, there were very few opportunities to even attend an introduction to the forum. And then when we started offering our programs, pretty much the only way that somebody could be invited to find out about the forum with a forum leader was being a participant in a course. And that's gone on until rather recently. But we now have online special evenings about the forum led by Landmark Forum leaders. And Michael, if you go ahead and drop that in the chat, I'm just gonna ask that you go ahead and copy the links that Michael just put into the chat and hang on to them, because are they there yet? Doesn't look like it. I think I can do it. Oh, there they are. Great. Thank you, Michael. But these are two special evenings about the forum that are happening next week. You know, I know many of us have been on courses and we wanted to invite people to find out about the forum, being so inspired by our own experience of being in the space of the forum. These now are opportunities for you outside of courses and programs to be able to participate. And they're happening because of the innovation of the people on this call. So please just go ahead and grab that and capture it. And if you find yourself so inspired over the course of the time we're here together, you actually can just get right on that and send that to anybody you'd like to share the forum with. So I'm going to go ahead and ask Alex to take us to the next part of our conversation. You're muted, buddy.
It's hard to talk when you're muted. Well, you can talk, but no one can hear you. So everyone, you know, we are given as a group of people, as human beings, in the present, by the future that we're living into. That's part of what we learn in the forum. It's part of what we deal with in the advanced course. Our courses are based on that idea that there is the present, and then we're given being by the future we live into. And when we began this journey, when we began this journey, we created a future. So I'm gonna create the future we created over, I believe, 2 years ago now, and have been operating inside of. And that future was making our work readily accessible to any person in any location under any circumstance. We are the stand that the transformation of life through the digital world is the transformation of the world itself. And we lived inside that future. We created what we created, standing against and inside of that future. And then approximately a year ago, we declared that we had fulfilled that future. We had actually fulfilled it. That future was complete. And then we looked, given our commitment to operating with integrity inside of a future, we created a new future. And that's the future we've been operating in for the last year. And so I want to create that with you now, causing a tipping point for transforming what it means to be a human being for human beings. Our work and who we be reaches across the globe, touches all people, causing futures that were never going to happen. The future is now, and people have limitless access to being free to be and free to act. So oh, Michael, can you paste that into the chat so people can see it written down? And I just want people to share what you see for yourself, either from having over the last year lived inside of that future and lived within it, or what you see right now standing against that future. So who would like to share? Raise your digital hands. I see Philip right out the gate.
Okay, well, I really see that, and I just share this with one of my teams, is that we're not just putting up slides or clicking to unmute somebody or tracking, sharing, or any of that. We are literally every moment making the difference in hundreds of thousands of lives of every person that interacts with that day and who they interact with. And there just aren't words for that.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. All right, Gary Kimmel from Toronto.
So what I'm present to is, you know, what's predictable. If we didn't add in what would happen ordinarily, if we just left everything alone, is the world would basically be on it, grumpy and predictably human beings. That's there's nothing wrong with it, but that's what we're going to get. And being the clearing for my seminar leaders, is probably for many people the only chance they're ever going to get to even vaguely distinguishing integrity or, you know, being brilliant or whatever the seminar they're in. No one else is coming, as far as I can tell from where I'm standing. There's not a lot else that's predictably going to make that change available. So if I can be some small part in having other people get a shot, I don't know if they'll take it. I don't mind if they'll take it, but having a shot is the best I can make available. Is you get a chance at distinguishing something that would have your life go a different way. We're all on this call, like we are not paid. If you go into the world, everyone is talking about how much you're getting paid, inflation, what are we going to do? This is what I'm choosing to do. I don't want to be paid for this. I want to do this because I can, not because I want to be paid for it. That is unpredictable, like an order of magnitude out of the unpredictable. So that's what I'm present to, is who we get to be as human beings.
That's awesome. Thank you, Gary. Robin. Robin,
thank you.
Oh,
yeah.
good.
Thank you. I'm here in Helena, Montana. I did my landmark work from 2006 to 2012 on the West Coast. When I moved to Montana, I found that there were landmark graduates, but they didn't have, they never had the opportunity to do a seminar or an SELP program. And really, my life started not working because I couldn't get access to programs, and having access to online programs has completely transformed my life. And I'm a stand for transformation in rural areas, that this opens. And also what I just completed the landmark, reviewed the landmark forum, also differently abled people who physically couldn't do sitting in the chairs in a convention center. I saw people's lives change that would have never been able to do the forum before. And it's so exciting what that can do in terms of the world.
Awesome. Thank you. PJ.
I would say I just am so inspired. I mean, this is an incredible opportunity to be with people, literally, as you said, around the world. And I'm just really present to the possibilities that are available and the opportunity to share the work. I mean, it's just really, it inspires me to keep going.
Awesome. Thank you. Jeff Grant.
I'm just present to, I did my forum in July of 1994. And I remember right before the pandemic, I'm also the team, I'm on staff, online program manager. I'm a smoke jumper, so I get to play the game of causing transformation pretty much every weekend. And I remember before the pandemic, I was on it with staff because I'm the team leader of the New York Center. I wanted to have the people in upstate New York, North, South, be able to zoom in and be in a center assisting meeting. And I was like, click, click, put them in, let's go. And they were like, no. And I was like, huh? And then a year ago, March 1st, it will be a year I've been on staff. And I just want to thank everybody who's been on my particular staff plane, inside of the plane that's flying, that's caused transformation with me. I'm going through screens going, oh my God, that was her. Oh my God, there's Deb. Oh my God, there's, and then there's Ruthie this weekend and a special forum. And to say I'm excited and I love my job is like the understatement of like ever. So
amazing.
We have a planet to transform.
Yeah.
And that's the game. Period.
You can hear in people sharing the opportunity it is to be given by a future, right? And as opposed to reacting to whatever the circumstances are around you. And it's really a delightful thing.
Yeah.
Pedro.
So I live in one of those Caribbean islands in Puerto Rico. I was a former staff member from the Florida Center, and in 2007, I left Florida for Puerto Rico and was without Landmark until 2019. The lady that spoke before, she expressed perfectly what I went through, not having transformation and support, and online has made that possible. And Nusa Amaro, level 3 course supervisor from Mexico, he worked tirelessly to make this happen for the Latin community. I love that guy. I owe the transformation of my wife and my family in Puerto Rico to him as well. And I'm blown away. Technology, there's people that have not been transformed that they don't know that they're empowering us through making technology available so we can do this. So I give my blessing and my acknowledgement to Landmark, the staff, the whole assisting program, and every human being in the world who develops technology so we can do what we're doing right now. They don't know they're transforming the world with us. And I send my love to them as well.
That's awesome. Thank you, Pedro. Before I go to the next person, I just want to say that one of the questions, I've been watching the chats go, and one of the questions was, that someone said, "Oh, I love everyone who's on the call, but what's the purpose of this besides connecting?" So one of the purposes is connecting, right? It is for us to actually have the experience of being connected to one another. It's easy sometimes for us to silo ourselves, right? You guys, you're on a team, and then you work with your 4 team members, and you forget that there's 500 other people. There's 100 other teams, right? All working to fulfill the future together. And so part of what the purpose of this call, these work days are for us to get connected. It's also has a very practical purpose of represencing ourselves to the future that we're engaged in. Because sometimes it's easy for our identity to kick in, our resignation to kick in, and for us to forget what we've accomplished, to forget that we're actually making a difference for people. And you're going to hear some things in this call of people who you've made a difference with that you may not think you have, right? And that's part of what's available here. And for us to update you and create a call to action for the next year, right? And so there's a lot there. So Seamus.
I just want to recreate the person who asked that question. I didn't see it, but I get it. I really want you to know I get it. And I think, a lot of us operate inside of a winning formula and a strong suit. And, I would say a common one among this team of people is being very task and results oriented. Let's get her done. Let's get the job done. Let's make it happen. And, often, being related is like, yeah. I got about related, but I got a job to do. And we miss the point. We risk missing the point of why the heck we're here in the first place. We're here for not just the 32,955 people that have done the forum as a result of our work. It's all the people in their lives and all the people they're going to be talking to over the rest of their lives. That is why we're here. And it is important for us to be related, and it is important for us to be related to that. So again, as I said at the beginning, this is about allowing yourself to let it in and just set aside for the 2 hours that we're together the urge to get back to work. Because I do know that. And I mean, don't get rid of that. We need it, but set it aside for a little bit.
All right, excellent. I think we have time for 2 more or so, Seamus.
Yeah, and then I think we have some special visitors we want to share.
Yeah, that's right. All right, good. So John Savage.
Hello.
God. So who I used to be was this kid from the inner city of Chicago, dirt po, like dirty streets and needles in the and to ever have the idea that I would be on a world stage working with India, Australia, New Zealand, just Europe, that I would actually have my hands in and on the world. It's just unfathomable. And when I did the guest seminar leader program some 30 years ago, the possibility I created for myself in my life was the possibility of a world living as family, a world living as family, celebrating unity in diversity, leaders causing leaders, transforming life itself. And this is a realization and a fulfillment of my life. So I'm honored to be on the mountain with you guys, and I'm honored for the opportunity. Rock on, move on. Let's get her done. And we're not going to get it done. I can't do it by myself.
Excellent. Thank you, John. All right, let me see. Oh, there's so many amazing people. Let's go to India in Nuremberg.
Thank you. Yeah, I might say Nuremberg, but I'm from California. So the first thing I saw inside of that future as lived, like a tipping point for transforming what it means to be a human being, for a human being, reaching across the globe. I mean, I'm a direct product of that. I was sourced by who I am, who I be in the world was sourced by Los Angeles. And then I created an unprecedented, impossible future, and I'm living in it. It's my dream. I live in the country I've wanted to live in for so long. I moved here with no reason, no plan. I just did it. And now I'm being, I'm bringing what I was sourced by in Los Angeles to Germany and making a difference in Germany with this work. And then I see all the other countries and you're right, it gets so sort of narrow sometimes when we're just focused on okay, what's the job that has to be done? What are we going to fulfill? And then suddenly I look and I'm like, oh, Patricia's sitting in the LA Center. I remember walking into that center and what it's like to be there and the people there. And I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to participate in the Los Angeles seminar. And it's none of that. Who I am, where I am, what I'm doing, what I'm up to, none of that is possible without that future that got created. And I'm very present and grateful for that. Whoever sat down and declared that that was the future for this enterprise.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We're gonna move on, but we will have more opportunities to share. And I just thank all of you who raised your hand, and please don't feel suppressed by us not selecting you. But we do want to hear from, we have some people who have sent some messages to us to give you a sense of the impact that you've had on the enterprise and the work that we're doing. So let's start with our first message. Michael, if you could put that up.
Hello, online program managers. If the rare case that there's someone at this workday who doesn't know me, my name is Joe DiMaggio. I'm sure all of you know me, and I'm the executive for research, design, and development for Landmark. First, I want you to know when I heard y'all were having a workday, I was thrilled. I just, oh my God. We actually have a division with people populating that division who have workdays. Now, why is that so radical? I remember when the pandemic first hit, and I remember all we had available, and I was one of the people that led some of these, were opportunities for graduates to join us for a very short period of time. I think it was 2 hours, maybe 3 hours. And literally all it was people, graduates, being in communication about what they were dealing with in life. And I remember distinctly, we had no organization. I was one of the people that led those, designed it and led it. And I had no experience of leading to a lot of people online. So I had to develop that in myself. And there was no real infrastructure, no systems involved, no expertise to be contributed. Was just us finding our way in this new world of online programs. And then I look back, and what seems like a very long time is, in reality, a very short time, right? Several years, maybe. And I am amazed. I marvel at what has gotten put together, what has gotten constructed, what has gotten created, where people have developed themselves, what's now possible, and what the future could be for us. So I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank you for what you had to do, and I have no idea what it was, to take us from that arcane, first foray into the online world into what we now have. What you had to break through, what you had to deal with, what you had to learn, what you had to contribute. And I know about the breakdowns. I live with them every week, as I'm sure you do. But the breakdowns don't color anything for me. I'm going to stand in, and I want you to stand in. Oh my God, look at what we have done. Look at what we have accomplished. And oh my God, what's coming for us in the future. So again, thank each and every one of you for your work, your commitment, your dedication. The difference it's making, if it's not real for you, is super real for me. Amazing difference. And I look forward to what's going to happen in our future. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hi, I'm Sandy Robbins. I'm a senior member of the Research, Design, and Development team of Landmark, where I work with forum leader Joe DiMaggio. And I'm the person with the principal accountability for the design and delivery of the communication programs. And I also design and lead programs for the Wisdom division as well. And it's a real gift to me to have the chance to thank those of you who have been or are in training to be online program managers. I know that you jumped into doing this job, jumped into training yourself in a new job that you knew nothing about when this pandemic started, and you did it out of your commitment to the participants in Landmark's programs. And I don't know that you know what you made possible, but the very first online programs in Landmark were programs that Joe DiMaggio and I led together, designed and led together. And we reached thousands and thousands of people, and we demonstrated with you, because of your partnership and your support and your heart and your soul, we were able to demonstrate that transformation could be delivered online. Now just imagine what the present would be like if we hadn't discovered that we could deliver transformation online, and if the graduates hadn't discovered that we can deliver transformation online. And that was possible because of you. And it continues to be possible because of you. So on behalf of every communication course leader, everybody who leads in the Wisdom division, everybody who leads any of Landmark's programs, I want to thank you for being the safety net, for being the partner, for being the co-pilot with the leaders that have made anything we've accomplished online possible. Thank you.
All right, to all the online program managers. Okay, my name is Udi. I'm a forum leader, and also I'm the person who's accountable for training new forum leaders to lead the Landmark Forum globally. Okay, for those of you who do not know me, I want to take this opportunity, really acknowledge you. Look, you were the people on the ground with us when the pandemic happened, to have everything go online. And you literally did that overnight. Okay, and we didn't know what we were doing. You jumped in and you said, you know what, we are the ones who's going to make this happen, flying a plane while we are building the plane. And that's who you are for me. That's who you are for us, all of us at Landmark as the management and the people who's been accountable for the programs being delivered. So a couple of things I acknowledge you for. Okay, so all the way from the beginning, when we had graduate events where thousands of people were online and giving them an opportunity to be in communication. You provided the space for that to happen. All the graduates throughout the world to be in communication, and us coming together again in this virtual online community. And then since then, we've developed all kinds of programs, from the advanced course to the forum, to the seminars, to communication courses, to the special evenings, and you have been leading the way. So I acknowledge you for who you are. I want you to know that you are known. We love you. You are really the people who are forging this new future together with all of us. So again, thank you. I love you. And thanks for our partnership.
All right.
In case you didn't get it, that was intended for you personally. And these were people that insisted that they be able to communicate that to you. And you know, one of the things, Alex, I just got inspired here by something. You know, one of the things that really is a hallmark of the work that we've done is we've created a new dynamic and a new kind of relationship between the people that lead our programs and the people that cause the production of them. And it is a real partnership. And it's not some hierarchical thing with the word partnership slapped on it. It's a real partnership. And I know that, you know, for a lot of us, we've had to reorganize our relationship to who forum leaders are, but in doing so, had to reorganize our relationship to the work and making the work available. And, you know, I just invite anybody to share, you know, what, you know, you see has shifted in your relationship with, you know, why we're here and your personal accountability for it. And of course, anything else you want to share about, you know, being acknowledged by the forum leaders. Yeah, Tish.
Thank you, Seamus. There's so much I can share about what has shifted for me. The biggest thing that has shifted for me was I went from someone who had a very tiny voice, was always worried about, am I going to be stuttering on screen? What are people going to think about my face, my Bell's palsy? They're going to notice it. Like all of that just disappeared. And in the last 2 years, I've discovered what it means to be a partner with a Landmark Forum leader. Landmark Forum leaders don't worry about the fact that I got Bell's palsy in my face. Like that's like, you know, not a big thing. What shifted for me was I get to contribute to people in a way that is so much bigger than my internal state and my internal conversations about myself. It took the Landmark Forum out of my head into a space in Africa where we had in the last 2 years, we've had 7 Landmark Forums. We've had 2 advanced courses, all online. We've had, we're busy with our second African ILP. We've had about, I don't know, 7 or 8 seminars. And this work was not possible in that way if I didn't shift what was going on here inside of me. And so getting acknowledged by Landmark Forum leaders, by Joe and Udi. Oh my word, Udi's amazing. Just like being able to work with Landmark Forum leaders around the world, being able to assist around the world. I've assisted in Australia, in Europe, in Africa, of course. And it's just been absolutely incredible. There's no space for me to worry about what my face looks like. I mean, really, you know, it's so much more than just how my face looks or how my smile looks. Like, yeah. So thank you for the opportunity. It was, yeah, being able to contribute to the world has fulfilled a lifetime dream of mine, and I get to do it here. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Who else should we call on, Alex?
What about, let's hear from Florida, Natalie.
Hi, morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. This is so amazing, eh? I am presently in the team management and leadership program, and I get to have an exception to do OPM, and I did my first one last year. Listening to what Joe and Sandy brought forward and just being in this present, I got present to how we take things for granted. And just being in the listening, it's like there are 211 of us online. And same as, I think it's when you put up the numbers inside of the 32,955. And what I'm present to is how dynamic we are, because while if each person calls 3 different conversations in their lives based on what we're up to, we're actually at the impact of not just 32,955, but 32,955 times 3, which means that we're impacting almost immediately just about 100,000 in such a short time span. And it's just being a participant in the program and being on the other side of heaven in the OPM body, it's just absolutely amazing. It's like, and the humility behind what we do to allow the course leaders to shine, because we're in the background. It's like, I really get the world of how special and dynamic we are as a group. And really thank you for that. I truly thank you for that and allow me the experience to be with you amazing individuals. So that's just the whole world of my shifting right now. So thank you. Thanks for calling on me, by the way. And I'm complete
You're
with that.
welcome.
Monica.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Well, it's such a privilege to be here to start off with. And I'm grateful that this was created. And I just have so many things in my space right now. And I think, first of all, the stand I am in the world is family transformation. It started with my family. And then when I saw the transformation I was causing, I said, how can I make this world transformation? And this is what Landmark has brought through the online programs. The ability to be with the leaders and hold their space so that they can transform parts of the world that we haven't touched. It's a miracle for me to be able to be part of that inside of the fulfillment that my purpose is in the world. And I'm just thrilled, excited that I could be part of that. Another thing is, like, I think the online, just the opportunity, I take it as an opportunity to be in the online assisting program, is the ability to put notes in the background for when I feel like I'm on it, or when I feel I'm not present. You know, there's so many things that come up that don't come in person, maybe like the having to sit for such a long time. And I can put like my purpose in the background and read it every time I feel like I'm not connecting, and that's something I didn't have and being in-person programs. And it has really transformed me being present with people in real time, like with my family, because it has become a muscle now, like that I was able to do that, and constantly on the online programs, now I can take it into my life and actually be more present.
I got really present, Monica, in your sharing about you being accountable for what you created and what you got, and then being accountable for your leadership and giving that away and causing that future to happen. That's very,
Yes.
very awesome.
Thank you.
Jose.
Did you call me?
Yes.
Oh boy. Okay. Okay. I just want to introduce myself as a body of translators. I don't see any many others, but I can see Eliazar translating in Spanish, probably on a WhatsApp second line to some people listening in Spanish. And I'm just present when Udi was speaking, and also Joe DiMaggio. I got the privilege of watching those recorded first forums with Joe DiMaggio and Mark Spiritos, and seeing how they were actually thrown back or blown back by the own possibility of transformation online, and getting trained and developed to lead in Spanish. So far we've led all the curriculum, especially the Landmark Forum. I've been with a group of Spanish, French, and Portuguese recreators leading the global weekends for TMLP. And we found a way to do it simultaneously so the Spanish speakers could hear the Portuguese. And I want to make that kind of thing possible, that we could do global forums and create some kind of a training program that we're actually trained at a high level, so we don't make the mistakes that we've been making. And I'm one of the key people who sometimes I go in the main room speaking Spanish, and so that we're really trained to deliver at the highest level. So I also want to acknowledge Seamus, who reached out to me personally. And the reason I'm here, I'm not an OPM, is because I'm committed that we all be trained in multiple teams. All the people that are here and all the people that aren't here are represented, and there's so many other things that are possible online with our work, all the way to possibilities of augmented reality, and I'm here for all of it, and you can count on me to train people and to be a part of this new technology pioneering. So that's what I just wanted to say, and thank you for everyone who shared, and all the people who got recorded to share, and all the ones who aren't here as well.
Well, I thank you, Jose. And I just want to present something in what Jose shared, which is that, yes, your translation, the translating team has a specific accountability, and they're at work on something, and they kind of work in a particular way and tend to interact with one another. All of us are on the team making our programs available. So when we say OPM, it is a broad distinction. It's three words that describes generally what we do, but within it is an accountability for the future of our work. And I do mean the future of our work. And that's the thing that you're presencing and what you shared, Jose, is the thinking for the future. And that is another part of what we're here to do today. And we're going to be getting into that in a little bit, but this is about the future. So let's see. And by the way, if everybody's going to have a chance to share in this section, we're going to do breakout rooms so you can do that. But let's see, Alex, what do you think? Can we take two more?
Yeah, let's take two more. I think it's good, and then we'll have people break out. Why don't we hear from Ashok?
Yeah, hello everyone. I hope you're all well. So as we get together, hello Zev, we have worked together. So as we get together globally, I'm in the acknowledgement of the person who began it, Werner Erhard, and the dream that he had, and the vision that he had for the globe. And before pandemic, when in-person programs were happening in India, let me tell you briefly, we had one city, Bombay, from where we were operating. And today, I must inform you, we are operating from 15 cities. And in the last 2 years, as the work has gone online, the work has penetrated to the core villages of central India. People from all nooks and corners are engaging with this conversation and creating, God knows, miraculous possibilities for their lives. And so let me also acknowledge the people who are working with forum leaders, senior people who are designing various distinctions, so to say. I must acknowledge them. Most of the time, sometimes a distinction gets distinguished. I feel that, oh, I knew it. But then unless somebody made it loud and clear and like a stand that you gentlemen, you were stuck in this conversation for 30 years. And that's the time when in this collective space, I have no choice but to shift. So really thanks to everyone who is boldly designing various seminars, various conversations, and this community of great OPMs and the people who are creating technologies. Werner Erhardt's dream is a reality today. I did forum in 1995. So many years have gone by. I just think of one word called, possibilities ignited. That's where this work is at this moment. So thank you, everyone. As we are seeing differences in looks, somewhere we are all touching the possibilities which are so common in all of us. So thank you, really. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to share. Thank you.
Okay, I can't decide who's next. There's so many awesome people I want to hear from. How about Louise? Go ahead.
Great. I'm just so moved by this whole community. I'm based out of Costa Rica, and I never had a center to go to. Like every single time that I was introduced to the forum by my sister who lived in San Francisco, had to fly 12 hours to get there. And every single course I started, 5 years ago, it was either a 5 or 10 hour flight to be able to get there. And since then I was like, why is this not available online? We gotta make this happen. I didn't care. I did my ILP. I moved to the States for 8 months to be able to bring this to Costa Rica, make this available for Latin America. Learned that there wasn't a center in the whole Latin America, just a few offices. And I was just not okay with that. And I want to thank CMUS for involving me in supporting the online programs at the beginning. Because now everybody does it. I think that in the last forums, there has been representations or participants from every single country in Latin America. And I'm just moved by that. Like finally, Landmark worldwide. I don't know, I want to thank COVID, for this. Like really, I think it's a miracle. And just being able to see all these pages here. And I think that it was Alex that said that we don't do this for the money. I was also so moved by that. I'm present to all the generosity that we all have and the generosity of humans around the world. Like, I'm just present to that. No matter what happens, this work is going to keep going.
Yeah.
The human condition is shifting, and Werner Erhardt's mission to have a world that works for everybody, it's already happening, and it's because of people like us And all people are going to be like this at some point.
Yeah.
And we're the source of that. And I'm just grateful, fulfilled, and happy to just be with you guys and be part of you. And I'm happy that you guys are also part of me. Thank you for who you are and for what you do.
You're here, Luis. All right. You know, these work days always end up being creative things, and I'm going to call an audible. So Alex, just trust me.
Of course.
So we're going to open up breakout rooms right now. And Michael, if you could share that slide. You know, what Luis is presencing right now is the future of transformation. It's the future of this work. And, you know, there's a bold stand in what he just said about shifting the human condition. And, you know, there is a lot of evidence for that it's not shifting. And in fact, it's going in the wrong direction. But our work has always been about standing for a possibility for something without any evidence that it's happening and continuing to stand for that. And then the next thing you know, that possibility is real in the world and it's just how it is. And, you know, we've been at this for 2 years. We've been standing for something being possible, and there's been ups and there's been downs, and, you know, we're not yet near where we are committed to being, but we are closer than we've ever been before. And it's because of your concern for the future. And so these questions, we really want for you to authentically engage in this and really share authentically. And then we're going to go ahead and put you in breakout rooms. They're going to last for 3 minutes.
So what shifted for me in my relationship to the future of the world of transformation is from being somebody who's completely resigned to being someone for whom the work of transformation is now real. That's it on that. And what I do see for my now about my accountability for it is just being in action and sharing with people as much as I can.
Great. All right, great. All right, well, that actually creates a perfect segue into our next visitor. And, you know, I said earlier on in the conversation, you know, sometimes it feels like, you know, when you're really committed to something, it takes a long time that you're toiling in darkness. And it really is important for you to know that you are known, and not just that you are known, but what we're up to. And this is really a shift in the conversation we're having today. You know, what comes next requires a new level of creativity and resourcefulness on the part of the graduate community. And just to introduce that conversation, we have a message from a very special person. Michael, you want to go ahead and play that?
Hello, my name is Mick Levitt. For those of you that don't know me, I'm the president of Landmark, and it's just great to be with each and every one of you. Seamus and Alex invited me to be here for a couple minutes, and I have really just one primary communication I wanted to make, which is this. Thank you. Really, thank each and every one of you. I know that some of you have been here for almost 2 years. You were here at the very beginning. You helped get us online. After 50 years of being an in-person business, you helped us move our work onto the world of online. And we've literally presented our forums and advanced courses and communication courses and seminars to tens and tens and tens of thousands of people, impacting their lives, their families, the people they work with. And that's all because you made it happen. It wasn't going to happen. So I just have to thank you and let you know, here we are. It's almost 2 years later since COVID surprised all of us. And I know that each and every one of you, those of you who have been contributing, making a difference, making our work available, in addition to doing that, you had your own lives to deal with. You had issues with regards to your jobs and people and health and all sorts of stuff, and you made this a priority. So I just want to thank you for having this work matter. And I know you did it because it's yours, and it is. I'm talking to people for whom this is your work. So thank you. That was number one, right? Then number two, you know, it's 2 years into COVID. We still have a ways to go. We still have most of our centers closed around the world. So while there's been a lot that we've asked of ourselves, it's not over yet. There's much more to do. And in many ways, the next year is going to be so crucial to actually getting our work to be available the way we're committed to be available in the world. So I know you've done a lot. I know you're going to be looking in this meeting with Alex and Seamus at what's next and what's possible, but it's both some of the most exciting times we've ever had in this enterprise. And at the same time, there's a lot at stake and there's a lot to do. So Seamus and Alex are going to create that with you. But when I was speaking with them, one of the things that we all landed on was how, well, the best way, Seamus brought up the best way to say it. I'm going to steal from him. And he quoted, because he knows I have a theater background, he quoted Henry V, a Shakespeare play called Henry V. And here, I'm going to pull up that quote for you. Yeah, here it is. See, it's not yet over, right? By the way, how many of you know what the word breach means? Breach is like a gap. So this is how Shakespeare said it. Once more unto the breach, dear friends, once more. In peace, there's nothing so becomes a man as modest stillness and humility. But when the blast of war blows in our ears, then imitate the action of the tiger. So for the last 2 years, you have been tigers. You have gone to action and you've done whatever it took to make this work available. So to those of you that have been here the whole time, and I know there's many of you, because Alex and Seamus tell me stories about a whole bunch of you and what you've done. And I also know there's a whole bunch of people starting right now. This is maybe your first meeting, and you're going to now be part of the team that makes our work available online. So to each and every one of you, I want to leave you with 2 words from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Look forward to seeing you around and look forward to this next generation of what we're creating with our work. Okay, bye everybody. Thank you.
Some of you waved bye to him. That was great. That was very so you guys, this really is about the future. So the remainder of our conversation is about the future. And you know, the assisting programs always been about the opportunity to be accountable for various aspects of making our work real in the world. And you know, for most of the history of the enterprise, that's looked a particular way. And I think many people participated in those expressions of assisting. But in the face of the pandemic, you know, the graduate community, you stepped up and you, in answering the call, have invented a whole new way to contribute. And we're continuing to discover what that actually looks like. It's still opening up. And, you know, there's a lot of different places you could be. You know, you could have, I know many people are here because you're committed to this work. It's who you are. And, you know, it's been really challenging. There's been a range of experiences. You know, some of you, it is a glorious expression of everything that you want and who you've always wanted to be. And, you know, for some of you, it's been a pain. You hate Zoom. Right? You want to be back in person. And you're only here because no matter what, you're committed that the opportunity of transformation be available for people. And for some of you, you know, you ran out of shows to binge watch on TV and you were looking for something more interesting to do. Well, you're welcome as well. But all of that, you know, all that pushing and pulling and expanding ourselves, it's really led to a new opportunity for what it is to assist. You know, there are things that are coming in the next year that are going to require a whole new level of creativity and resourcefulness and skill. And we want to make sure that the graduate community, the people who assist you, have an opportunity to participate in all aspects of it. You know, when we say the enterprise belongs to the graduates, we really do mean it. We mean you. And we're looking for people to participate in a new expression of assisting in the online division that we're calling the Solution Core. And the purpose is to provide you with the opportunity, people who really care about the work of transformation, meaning everybody on this call, to create projects and participate in projects and that are able to utilize specialized skills and talents and abilities that you have. You know, I've spoken to a lot of people over the years who've really wanted to contribute to making a difference with their skills and talents, but they didn't find those opportunities in the existing expressions of assisting and the existing agreements. But the Solution Core is really about incorporating the accountability for already existing agreements and creating an opportunity to bring a wide range of talents and skills to making a difference. And rather than agreements that are based around an event or a program, the Solution Core is really created around projects. And it's an opportunity to collaborate with other graduates who have similar skills in moving the work of transformation forward. And to that end, we're going to put a link in the chat. This is to a short survey. And we're asking you to take a few minutes, and everybody go ahead and please click on that link. It's going to take you to a survey. And we're going to ask you to give your name and your phone number and your email address. We're only using it as it relates to this conversation. But you'll see that there are checkboxes about different areas of assisting. We want to know a little bit about your history of assisting. But then, you know, there are areas, and by the way, every one of these checkboxes will have sub checkboxes, and we want you to really review each of those and go through it and give us you know, we want to create a real inventory of what's out there and what people want to contribute. But, you know, I'll just say why we're doing this is because the opportunities that we've created to this point have covered what you could say is producing what were formerly in-person programs online. But we're now looking at reimagining all of it. You know, online programs, given the opportunity and the reach, are going to be here. It is part of the future of Landmark. We will do in-person programs. That'll all have its own expression, but we need to think in a new way about presenting online transformational programs. And I know that there's all kinds of ideas that people have, all kinds of ways that you'd like to contribute and, you know, bring yourself to bear. This survey is to give us a real inventory of what people have that they would like to contribute. And as projects arise and as opportunities arise, we can let you know about them and how to participate in them. So while you're doing that, and I do request you go through each of them and look at everything. Don't just assume you don't have anything to contribute. There's lots of expressions in here that you'll notice are quite specific. You'll notice things about editing video. You notice things about, you know, programming. You know, we are the answer. So we'll take a few minutes to let you do that. And any questions? And Alex, you might be better suited to field some of the questions.
I do. Vivek did mention that he can't reach. Is everyone? Are people getting access to it? Is it working for people? Okay, I'm getting nods. So Vivek, I think it might be you. It seems to be working, and it worked for me. Paul, do you have a question? Paul, you're muted.
There we go. Actually, I want to take time to acknowledge a team, if that's okay, but I can stop.
Let's do that after this section. Although I was tempted to do the same thing, right? We have. Yeah, actually, go ahead, Paul. Do that.
Great. Thank you very much. Hi, everybody. My name is Paul. I'm calling from Toronto, Canada. And while I'm part of this team, I really want to acknowledge the guy in front of me who's really pushing at the lead. And that's Alex. There's a team of people, the online digital development team. Is that what we're called, Alex?
I think that might be our formal name. We informally are called the Tech Sherpas.
There we go. And the intention of this team really is to create the backbone of technology for disseminating the work documents, disseminating the class participation lists, the online attendance tracking, and it's leveraging a whole bunch of talent from all over the place, technical talent. And I just want to take a second to call out a couple people, as I can see here. AJ, of course, you're top on my list. I think Seamus, you participated in it as well. John Headley, who is currently on conference right now in Las Vegas, he's working with me side channels. I'm trying to do some work in automatically delivering some of the work. Denise, who I just spoke with, and there's a couple other whose names don't come up to me right away, so forgive me for that. Really want to acknowledge that the work they do, and also that we can take our technical skills, our nerdiness is something that I like to say about myself, and bring this to, oh, and Doc, sorry, Doc, nice to see you there as well, to bring these skills together and make a difference for the global community using all these things. And it really is inside the world of things that had never shifted before we got our hands on the keyboards. We're now moving.
It's wonderful, Paul. And, Paul is pointing to really a team that's at the heart of a lot of the innovation and a lot of the new structures that have been created. And if you participate in anything else online in your work life or elsewhere, that there's all kinds of opportunities in how we connect to people. One of the things that we have to begin to deal with is that we have those 32,000 people, that 955 people, they don't know what a center is. That's kind of a very kind of difficult thing to wrap your mind around. What is that? What is the context provided by having a center? What is the difference made by being able to walk in and shake hands and say hello to people, go out to dinner with people, on meal breaks during programs? This is different now. So it's requiring that we think outside of a box that we've been in for 50 years. And so again, why we're looking for all of these talents is, as we begin to exploit these opportunities, we may not jump on every single idea that everybody has, because there's a lot of work that's still yet to be done, to get us to just to get the enterprise back on a footing after the impact of the pandemic. But we want to know. And again, this is because the enterprise is yours. The future of this enterprise is yours. So if you still need a little more time while you're filling out the survey, just raise your hand on screen so we can see.
It's Paul. I just wanted to complete what I was saying. So one more thing, and you had hit upon it, which is really that it's up to us. It's up to us to dare. And I want to put a quote out of a favorite book of mine. One of the characters says, "I dare because I must." Sorry. Who will dare for me if I dare not dare for myself?
That's great. Thank you, Paul.
That's great. Thank you. That's great.
And I noticed Carol has her hand up, but before you, let me just say one other thing. You may think that your skills are not applicable to the work that we're doing. I just want you to imagine that we're thinking so far outside the box that you may have no idea. If you have a skill in burger flipping, and you think, oh, well, my burger flipping skill, that's not going to help with the online division. Take a stand that your burger flipping skill will, because we may be able to use it. We're really looking to see how we can cause transformation in media we've never looked at before, in directions we've never looked at before. So please think big when you think about this. Alicia has had her, by the way, Seamus, Alicia had her hand up before. Go ahead, Stesha.
Yeah, and just to say what Alex said in another way, is one of the things we're looking at is all the ways we've never thought that assisting could look before. All of those things that you're like, God, I love writing. I love it. And it's something I do in my spare time, and I would love to be able to give that to the enterprise. I'd love to be able to do that as assisting. That would be amazing for me. but there's never been a place for that before. That's what we're up to now as we look out into the future, looking at what are those things that you love, those things that you're extraordinary at, that has never existed as a traditional assisting agreement. We're requesting you put that whole idea of what traditional looks like so that we can go into the future creating a whole new idea of what it actually looks like to assist and all the different realms that it's never existed in before.
And writing's probably a better example than burger flipping.
I mean, probably, but that's fine.
Alicia?
Yes. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Alex. My name is Alicia Small from Trinidad and Tobago. My question is that I've been in this conversation with Landmark, standing for the Caribbean region for the last 10 to 12 years. And Landmark has been a stubborn no to online work for programs outside of its core base of the US. And I'm happy to see that Landmark is now taking, after global breakdown, is now taking a proactive approach to online programming after decades of lobbying unsuccessfully by persons outside of the US. My concern is that when the physical spaces open up, that the focus towards online will diminish, and that availability of courses and frequency of courses will be impacted. That is my concern. It's all hot and heavy right now because it's a need. When it's no longer a necessity, will Landmark's commitment to deliver the frequency of work and the volume of work online continue?
Yes, it will.
Absolutely.
It will. There's an imperative.
Yeah.
Everything,
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Seamus. Please go ahead.
everything has shifted. Everything has shifted. Here's what we're going to do though. Stay there. We've opened up breakout rooms because a lot of you have specific ideas and specific things that you want to be able to begin to contribute and capture. And we've got breakout rooms that have been opened that you can move about them now. And where did my breakout room panel go? It's over here. Don't go yet. But there are initiatives that have already been started. You know, we have people that support and coach and mentor people that are OPMs for weekly programs. We have a new presentation manager program that's being started for people that really want to elevate that practice and craft and skill. We have people from Europe and the Middle East that are on the call that have special commitments and needs. We have a whole technical support team and a whole technical support methodology. There's people from the translation team that are here. We have a new agreement or a new accountability we're creating related to final sessions of programs and the management of them. The name is slightly different, but there'll be somebody in that room to talk to you about that. We need to continue to train new people in this craft of online program management, the course supervisor program. Some people may not be available for these rooms. If somebody's not in that room, wait a little bit. And if they're not there, you can go to another one of the rooms. We're going to take about 15 minutes, sorry, we're going to take 10 minutes right now to let you go ahead and check in with people. So if you have an accountability in one of those, please go ahead and go on in there. We have people from the staff that are going in. Great. So
can I, before people go, can I just, Seamus, I do want to address it while the main people are still, most of the people are still here. It's Alicia's thing. Harry Rosenberg, the CEO of the company, said we are now an online company, right? It's like there's a matter of word around this, and where there's a whole core of us that are committed that this is actually going to be the fulfillment of the future. And yeah, maybe we're going to have physical courses, maybe, right? So there's a very strong commitment all the way up to the top for this to continue. And so there's going to be some hard times as we struggle and we work things out. And you know, it may go in dips and valleys, but I promise you, the commitment to maintain the ability to do courses online, to do events online, and to have our work be available online is strong, and is extremely viable.
We are not giving up the reach that has been created by making our programs available. And speaking for myself personally, it is only going to grow, or you can cut off my arm.
I have one more question, and this doesn't have to be answered now. The center model, which is the physical world of Landmark, will that be are we moving away from the center structure, because I think that is limiting Landmark's growth around the world?
We don't know, but we know that there's an imperative, and it's going to have to shift and reorganize.
Okay.
Yes, but this is the Caribbean's. This is the Caribbean's era. any island country for that matter. All right.
Yeah, right.
So,
yeah.
So again, we're going to stay here. We'll answer questions here, but this is an opportunity in the next 10 minutes to get out there and get your questions answered by people. So head on over there. You can, if there's nobody in that room, like I said, visit a couple rooms, give your email address to the people that are there so we can connect with you. Okay. And then we'll continue to answer questions here.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Stesh, are you still here?
Yep.
All right, great. Let's go ahead and put that other link into the chat. We have something that's actually very convenient for people that want to take on being on an online program. And it's actually a form where you can sign up to be on a program, and you'll see all the courses that are there. Michael, I can do it if you're.
He's not in this room anymore.
All right, I'll go ahead and do it. But pasting it into the chat here. But you can sign up for any course anywhere in the world and be on a team in any course in the world. So go ahead and click on that link, and you can peruse the programs that are available. Stesh is also here, and Jill's also here to answer questions about upcoming courses and programs for the next few minutes. Anybody have any questions?
I did. Oh, who was it? Emily, you had your hand up. Do you still have a question, Emily?
No, I don't have a question. I just wanted to acknowledge Alicia for being a stand for her region, but also for the online delivery. And I got that took something, and that we're a little bit North Central or North America centric still. So I just wanted to acknowledge her for what it took to stand in the face of no agreement. So thanks, Alicia.
Yeah, and if in any way you got like, oh, that's not good, it just is so how it is as far as I'm concerned. I don't even think that way anymore. So
I just wanted to give one example of how the center structure limits the Caribbean region. So right now, 4 countries are offered a certain dollar amount discount off from a certain center. And the Caribbean game, like Latin America, like Africa, like India, it transcends centers now. People need to be able to register for whatever weekend works for them and their families, and not be tied or anchored to a center's measures, because this game is bigger than all of us. And we cannot boil it down to people's lives, and transformation cannot be boiled down to like that. It's not a, you know what I mean? Like,
it's perfect. And I can promise you that very conversation is being addressed right now. I've personally been in multiple meetings about doing away with that. So
I would love if there's a way for it to filter down to, my level. I would love to be a part of conversations like that, to really give the enterprise insight into people who actually live outside of the US.
Yeah. Did you fill out the business portion?
Yeah,
of the
I
survey?
did.
Excellent.
I did, but I'm not sure if my skill set matches this conversation specifically.
It's okay. We'll remember this conversation. I assure you.
Thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Buse Qatar, I don't know how to say your name. I apologize if I
Hi, Alex.
mangled it.
No, you got it pretty right. It's Buse Kurtar from Turkey here. Hi, everyone. I wasn't an OPM myself, but I just wanted to attend the call so that I can catch up with everything that you did. And I would like to thank you, everyone, for being who you are. And I would like to become an OPM myself so that I can contribute this work going online, because I really appreciate this worldwideness of being one and being in any form in any language. So what can I do for that? And can I still participate in the last link that you sent, although I didn't get the training for OPM?
Yes, 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 yes.
Thanks.
We'll get you trained. We'll get you trained. You use the link, sign up. We'll make it happen.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Gavin from Bristol.
Hi, is there a new introduction to assisting, or is there one existing that I don't know about?
Dasha, that's for you or Jill. You guys still here?
Hi,
Yes.
Gavin.
Yeah, go
Hi.
ahead.
Yes, we have online introductions to assisting about 3 days a week, every week. I'll put a link in the chat for you.
Great, thank you. Great.
You're welcome.
Remember, we've also put in the chat the link to be able to sign up for a course. Even if you're expressing your intention, you should go ahead and you can go ahead and do that. Obviously, there's things to coordinate, but please take advantage of that.
And
I looked at the breakout rooms. I'm sorry.
Go
No, I
ahead.
was just gonna say, I looked at the breakout rooms and I didn't see anything around organizational strategy, organizational structure, strategic planning and visioning. That would be like,
get on the technology innovation breakout room and just
okay, great.
explicitly say that. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
We got
Right.
about four more minutes in the breakout rooms.
Great, Derek.
Hi. Is there any room that I should be joining? I'm a classroom leader for the team management leadership program, and I occasionally do online program managing for introduction events or our team meetings and the weekends and that.
There's not a particular one. If you look at the list though and see an area where you can imagine yourself contributing or that you're interested in, I would jump into that, but there's not a particular one that you would need to go to or that would be pointed, for that purpose.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Derek. And by the way, we need team needs to be present massively, right? So your skills in that area alone will be a massive contribution wherever you put them.
We're going to take three more minutes in the breakout rooms.
Great. Chris.
Hi there. I have a really quick question, I think. So in looking at the survey, it's asking the assisting survey, if I've assisted in production in person, does that mean I've assisted in a landmark forum? Is that correct?
Or a seminar. If you've been in the back of the room, set up chairs, handed out things to participants, run mics, any of those kind of things. Yep.
Great. Okay. And then production online would be OPM?
And OPM, or if you're on a welcome team, or if you're on any of the roles that we have in our weekend courses, for instance. So if you participated as a person who assists in one of our online courses, that would be participating in online production.
Perfect. Thank you.
Right. No, you're welcome. Thank you. Ricardo, we have just a minute or two left. Go ahead, Ricardo.
Yeah, thanks. Similar to what was being asked earlier about the regions being a potential hindrance, I'm finding the same thing in that I'm in Austin, Texas, but because I speak Spanish and Portuguese, have been assisting with Latin America. However, right now, we're about to be asked to submit our courses again, and I got placed in courses in North America and have to do a whole thing to try to get moved to Latin America, where that's really the best value I can provide is in Latin America rather than here. So that's something that I just wanted to bring up, and I don't know how to address it exactly, but
no, that's great. Well, I think there's two things. You're a course supervisor, correct? Yeah.
That's
so one is I would maybe bring that, although we're about to close those rooms, but bring that to the course supervisor body, right? Because one of the things we need to keep working on is improving the communication and coordination between, say, the production teams led by Stesha, right? And the online division and the course supervisor assisting agreements, right? And making sure that's coordinated and creating, I think over the next year, we will be creating a new world around language and time zone being key determinants about how and where people assist. And so, but that's not in place yet. We're working through how to do that. But believe me, we are painfully aware of the issue that you and Alicia are talking about, painfully aware of it, and are working at it. And Seamus wasn't kidding. There's conversation at the highest levels of the organization about how to cause something around that. And
Excellent.
And Chris, did you still have a question, or would you just have your hand still up? Oh, I'm sorry, Ricardo. Did you have more? I apologize.
Sorry. Yeah, and I would add one thing is that I'm looking into the possibility. I'm creating the possibility of creating a website where people can look at how to pronounce people's names in other languages, because I find that sometimes leaders and course supervisors are dealing with somebody in Latin America and we're just butchering the names. And people don't even know they're being called because we can't say their name in the way that they understand. So anyway, that's a whole other thing. But
that would be amazing. As a person who butchers names, people's names constantly, I would love that. Okay. Chris, are you have your question answered? Okay, great. Okay, are we all set? Seamus, are we about to close the rooms?
Yeah, we've closed the rooms. And Ricardo, just regarding I'm putting Ingrid Diaz's email into the chat. Go ahead and grab that. You should get connected with her as well regarding connecting to the Latin American team. So
yeah. No, I've definitely already in touch with her, and I have assisted last year in Latin America, and just again, it's just that. Thank you very much.
All right, great. All right, everyone, we're about to finish. We have one final visitor joining us to finish, but it was ambitious to pack everything that we've packed into this. But you guys were great in the way that you listened and your flexibility and adaptability as we make calls on the run. And it just, there are no words. It just really, the English language, the one that I speak, does not contain adequate words to be able to express who the heck you are. It does transcend words, and it's just extraordinary to be with you. And probably, we saved this one video for last. We're going to go ahead and play it, and then we'll open up the breakout rooms if you want to head back in there. There's no need to run off, and then we'll also talk about that functional test that we talked about. But let's just go ahead and let Manal Maurice complete our day.
I get to speak to the online program managers globally. Thank goodness. Hi, everybody. If we haven't met before, my name is Manal Maurice, and I am one of the Landmark Forum leaders who not only leads the Landmark Forum, but is also the forum leader accountable for the Introduction Leaders program worldwide. And I really did have the privilege of an extraordinary partnership with all of you. If you remember all the way back to the beginning, around August 2020, when we first had this insane idea to relaunch the Introduction Leaders program on Zoom, all the way to last night with the online program managers I work with in the special evening about the Landmark Forum in New York. You're all very, very present for me. And having had this opportunity to be with you, what came to mind is a part of a book that I've been reading about this guy who wants to be a samurai. It's called Chop Wood, Carry Water. And I read this part and it evoked for me who you are. Listen to this. It says, let me tell you a secret. People who get average results persist until things get uncomfortable. Then they quit. People who get good results persist until things get painful. Then they quit. People who get world-class results have trained themselves to become comfortable when it's painful and uncomfortable. And boy, does that ever evoke the way all of you have participated over these last 2 years, having to dance around the chaos, the uncertainty, the who knows what, a minute before courses, things changing. I really acknowledge each and every one of you for doing whatever you've had to do to get comfortable to be able to be there in the face of things being uncomfortable and painful. And as it says in the book, one last thing, remember, greatness isn't for the chosen few, but for the few who consistently and persistently choose. And boy, does that evoke for me who you've been and who you are, and my deep appreciation for you just being so great and persistently and consistently choosing to have this work and to bring power and effectiveness to everything we're doing in discovering this new world of being online. I love you and I thank you for your leadership.
There you have it. Top
Nothing
wood,
more
clear
needs
water,
to be
baby.
said.
Nothing more. All right, so this completes the official part of the workday. We know that there are, I live in the Midwest. We have something called the Midwest goodbye. Feel free, if you have your own expression of that, the lingering goodbye that starts at the kitchen, goes to the front door, then goes out to the sidewalk in front of the house. You're welcome to do that. I am going to open up the breakout rooms so you can get back and complete any conversations that were cut short. And anybody else who's willing to stay for us, we're going to do a couple of functional tests and we'll start talking about that now. But for now, we love you. Thank you.